Hey everybody, welcome to WCAX. This is our live desk streaming show. Kicks off every day at 9:15, except it's about 10 minutes late today. Some technical problems on my end. But with that in mind, we're going to roll right into it and bring our Calvin Cutler on here. Talk about the 3-acre rule. This is something a little contentious. Some people aren't very happy about it. And no better man, of course, to cover that than Calvin. So Calvin, first off, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much, John. Good morning. How are you?
Good. So kind of, and diving right into this here, this started from the Clean Water Act, past years ago, and that includes the 3-acre rule. So kind of just describe that for me and really where that leads us now to some people not being so happy.
Yeah, for sure. It's really all rewinding for a second. This all gets back to a federal mandate that we have from the federal government to clean up Lake Champlain. As we know, water quality in many of our lakes and rivers is challenged sometimes. Impaired waters, really challenged water quality. And so we're under a federal mandate to clean up Lake Champlain. In 2015, the state legislature passed the Clean Water Act, is kind of what it's dubbed. And it essentially is a sweeping law that has does a number of things, but one of them establishes what's known as the 3-acre rule. This went into effect really in 2019 is when they started the rulemaking and process. And what it says is if you are a landowner, a municipality, a school, a business, a company, and you have more than 3 acres of impervious surface, so think pavement, rooftop, cement, things that water can't go through, you need to upgrade your stormwater systems. And it's not just a matter of upgrading your stormwater systems, but there's expensive engineering, planning, and remediation efforts that have to go into this work. And as we've kind of reported on this issue over the years of organizations and schools and others that have been really struggling with the cost, but in Richmond, we're starting to pay attention to a story where it's essentially falling on the backs of homeowners, and we can get more into it, but they are really concerned about this cost falling on them, what it means for them, their pocketbooks, and their ability to pay. And they say, essentially, it's just not fair.
Yeah, and I guess that I was reading the tail end of your story as well. It says the state says there's ways for homeowners to split those costs. So, I mean, really, what does that look like? Is there a one size? This doesn't seem like a one size fits all kind of solution.
Well, what's challenging here, and it's kind of it sounds like a unique angle, but there's actually many developments that this applies to. Basically, on Southview Road in Richmond, it's a beautiful street, lots of beautiful houses. It's just north of I-89. If you're driving north of Richmond, there's about 44 houses that for years the state has been, or the town of Richmond that is, had paid their stormwater permit, which was a couple $100 and an inspection, a nominal fee every 4 to 5 years. It really wasn't much, but because the town was paying the permit for these 44 houses, in the state's eyes, these 44 homes were an entity. They were a group. They were a organization. But if you look at them and how they were built, they don't have an HOA, a homeowners association. They are not a part of this. They don't have any sort of internal governance structure or internal financing structure. And where that leaves them is now the state is coming to them saying, hey, because you had a previous stormwater permit, you now need to, each individually, you all collectively, 44 acres, you measure more than 3 acres. Yeah. And they all now have to adhere to these new stormwater regulations, and they do not have the financing. They don't
it's like
have
to the tunes of it's thousands of dollars.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these projects, they can be tens of thousands of dollars
Yeah.
just for the engineering, let alone the remediation and pulling the project off. So it's a real corner that
Yeah.
these homeowners are in, and there's a very contentious Richmond Select Board meeting last week where they were asking questions of their elected leaders, of officials from the Department of Environmental Conservation. It's a real puzzle that they're faced with, and it's not just them. There's developments in Williston, South Burlington, Heinsberg,
Yeah.
Burlington, others that this applies to as well. That homeowners that don't have HOAs, but now this cost is falling on them.
Yeah, and it's almost funny because I know a lot of times people with HOAs, they're, hey, what am I paying for? And now another side of the argument, which is now I don't have an HOA, and it's on the opposite side of the argument. But
And that's what I found so interesting, John.
Yeah.
Is HOAs tend to get a bad rap, right? Of
Yeah.
your mailbox is the wrong color, or
right, your
you
shutter's
didn't-
the wrong thing, right? Yeah.
You're shut exactly.
Yeah.
And this is a instance where adhering to government regulations is a challenge for individuals or places that are not together.
Yeah.
But I guess I will say, I'll just kind of wrap it up and say everybody wants clean water.
Right.
As I said, we're under
Yeah.
a federal mandate.
But then you
and
stick me with the bill.
getting impervious. I'm sorry.
Then you stick someone with the bill, and then all of a sudden it's, right. That's the
Right.
Therein lies the issue.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Whether we're talking about impervious surface or dairy or wastewater, everybody wants clean water, and Lake Champlain is a huge economic driver for the state of Vermont. When we have blue-green algae blooms that can close down beaches, that really does have a real toll and a real effect. And so, the question is, what is the best way to achieve the mandate, to adhere to our clean water requirements, but also minimize the financial impact on landowners, homeowners, farms, etc.
Yeah.
And it's a real challenge because, as we know, climate change, our summers are getting hotter and wetter, and it's causing more frequent blue-green algae blooms. And this is a key piece of cleaning up the lake. But it's a real puzzle that homeowners in Richmond are grappling with.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And of course, I can't imagine this is the last time we're talking about this. But Calvin, thanks so much for hopping on. We'll share that story in just a sec. But it's always great to have you on. So thanks for coming by.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, John. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. Again, that was our Calvin Cutler there, talking about the 3-acre rule and how that can impact things for folks, specifically in Richmond. We'll pull this up in just a sec.
"44 homeowners live on Southview Drive, just north of I-89 in Richmond. For years, the town paid their stormwater fees and permits, until the 3-acre rule, aimed at reducing phosphorus from runoff into the watershed. Now, the homeowners here are going to have to pay tens of thousands of dollars for upgraded stormwater controls to meet the new regulations. But it has some crying foul.
The person on this side of the street happens to live in the area that once upon a time had a stormwater permit. Their neighbor across the street does not. This neighbor does not have to deal with all this. This neighbor does.
Select Board member Jay Furr says homeowners in other areas of town that have never been required to get stormwater permits will not have to upgrade systems.
It's just this very defined section. If you drive up there, you can kind of drive through, it feels like a big neighborhood, but only like maybe a third of that whole neighborhood is actually being subject to this permit.
Homeowners were recently notified about the changes, which in part led to a contentious select board meeting where they were pleading with both elected leaders here in town and state lawmakers for help.
I'm hearing you say it is what it is to a room full of people who are going to be significantly impacted from a financial standpoint.
To say that all of a sudden we see this whole entire watershed feeding this water that's going into our streams, but we're only going to have 44 houses pay for that. does not seem right.
The state says there are ways for the homeowners to split the cost and that there are federal funds to help with permitting and engineering. But they add that upgrading stormwater systems is a key piece of cleaning up Lake Champlain.
If we don't rely upon these 3-acre sites to get at those pollution reduction targets, we're going to have to find another way.
Again, that was our Calvin Cutler talking about some legislation impacting some folks, especially in Richmond. You can see that full story on WCAX.com. And Peter, as far as today goes, I know we had some fun this morning talking about it's the start of some kind of deer hunting season.
Yes, archery, yeah.
Archery, yeah, deer hunting season, archery. So for people getting outside today, maybe doing that, maybe going for a stroll Lake Champlain, what's that look like for them?
October 1st, and
Yeah.
still really not feeling all that
No,
fall.
not at
Like
all.
we're kind of picking up October exactly where September left off. Temperatures out there right now, starting off the day in the 50s and 60s, and these are going to gradually climb back into the upper 60s and 70s here as we head towards this afternoon. Again, for now here on Satellite Radar, a dry, quiet start to our Tuesday morning out there. Some places still contending with a bit of that low cloud cover and patchy dense fog. You can see visibility still reduced towards Lebanon, Springfield, as well as Saranac Lake. Any of that leftover fog or low cloud cover should gradually begin to burn off, and we're left with more sunshine here as we head into the rest of the day today. So here's how the day shapes up on Futurecast. Again, low clouds, fog gradually burns off. Most of us left with a decent amount of sunshine here as we head into the afternoon and evening hours today. But clouds are gradually back on the increase here as we head into the night tonight. That's going to start to give way to a few rain showers here as we head towards about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So the North Country's morning commute could feature a few rain showers out there. But notice how as these rain showers move off to the east, they actually gradually begin to fall apart and lose a lot of steam, maybe making their arrival into the Champlain Valley as we head towards about noontime tomorrow. But then after that, a whole lot of us stay primarily dry across much of Vermont as well as into northern New Hampshire. Into the day on Thursday, we lose that cloud cover, picking up more sunshine here as we head into the second half of the work week. So in terms of rainfall here as we head through the course of the day tomorrow, again, it's the further west you look where we have the potential of picking up maybe 1-2 of an inch of rain. Elsewhere, though, rain total is basically zero across the board. So the further north and west you look, that's where we stand the best chance of seeing a few rain showers here through the first part of the day on Wednesday. Elsewhere across the region, I think we're kind of dealing with a bit more cloud cover, maybe a spotty shower here and there, but again, the rain total is looking really lackluster here as we head towards your day tomorrow. First day, your forecast here through the rest of the day today. Again, some morning low clouds and fog out there, sunshine gradually emerging here as we head into the late morning and in the early afternoon. Tonight, overnight lows, they'll fall back into the 40s and 50s once again. Increasing clouds overhead. Those clouds giving way to a few spotty rain showers here for your day tomorrow. Temperatures, though, cooler for all of us. Most of us will talk daytime highs here in the 60s for your day on Wednesday. Now look at that 7-day forecast. We get the sunshine back for Thursday and Friday. Another hiccup as we head towards Friday night and into the day on Saturday. You can see the chance of a few more rain showers. That a part of another cold front that will knock down temperatures here as we head into the first weekend of October. Monday, again, not looking too bad. Maybe a few passing rain showers here and there as we head towards the start of next week.
Yeah, Peter, some nice, well, I say nice weather except for tomorrow. Yeah, I was going to say.
And even tomorrow, really
not
not all that
Yeah.
bad. Let's just get some perspective here.
Yeah,
Normal daytime highs for this time of year should be 66 degrees. We're
Yeah.
at or above that for the entirety of the 7-day forecast, or might as well say we're above that here for the entirety of the 7-day forecast. A few clouds, a few rain showers, kind of to be expected.
It's nice to get outside, too. It's not too
Yeah.
bad. I mean, we talked about, it's like sweatshirt and
Yeah.
shorts weather.
Yeah, exactly.
Not bad at all. Anyway,
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter. And thanks, guys, for watching WCAX. Of course, you can see Peter and I in just, what is that? 2 and a
A
half,
few short hours.
2 hours,
two and a half, yeah.
22 minutes.
Oh, look at
And
that.
all right, on Channel 3 News at noon, of course, all of our evening shows, and on WCX.com. But but until then, we'll see you guys later.